huge appreciation to Ethiopia for hosting big numbers of refugees. Especially in these days, cooperation, not confrontation, is like the way to go. It is a legitimate request and also fully understandable that to diversify the access. Indeed, yes, many thanks for this possibility to discuss and share how we see EU-Ethiopia relations. And we are just celebrating 50 years of partnership. I think it's an important milestone in our relations. Good to recall that for many member states this relationship goes back centuries, even millennia. So it's a good basis to work on. And the cooperation started with development cooperation and has now been expanding. So we are really working together with the government, with the Ethiopian society broadly in many different fields, big political, mediation, development cooperation continues, humanitarian, trade, one of the priorities for us currently. So this is like the strands of work and evidently also now considering the homegrown economic reform agenda, something that we are really also working and supporting the government in different fields. This is one aspect. Then the broad EU family, I think this is important to stress in our relationship. Now we have 21 member states present in Addis. We have the broader EU family, we have the European Investment Bank, we have ECHO, the EU's civilian protection humanitarian operations agency, we have the EU Special Representative for the Horn of Africa, her representative, and the European Parliament in fact also. So it's really like a Team Europe. And then also in our relations, I think important like the people-to-people context we have, of course, students, researchers cooperating. We have the Erasmus Plus program, and it has been good to see that Ethiopian students are really applying for this and also being accepted. I think Ethiopia is one of the top 5 African countries, so this is, I think, an important track of our work. And then, of course, the diaspora that is keeping then like the contacts and the dialogue also then, and the contacts between the citizens and people. And then also like in culture, we have 3 cultural institutes here, the French, German and Italian schools, also the Greek school to be mentioned. So I think there is really a broad field of collaboration, and that is really good to build now from the 50 years and to move forward on that basis. And then, of course, not to forget Ethiopia's role in peacekeeping, impressive track record. Already in the 50s, Ethiopia was part of a UN peacekeeping mission, and then also now continuing, and of course the fight against Al-Shabaab and terrorism is of course something where Ethiopia has been really strong on, and that is also one field of work for us together. Indeed, and that is something that we are not only starting to embrace but are already on it, as we see that the reforms that are ongoing and the opening up of the economy is something that we really want to succeed, and where we are then engaging in different ways, be it there's on the electricity, renewable energy track, so-called Global Gateway program already like in the making. So this is one. Of course, then the fact that we have more than 180 European companies in the country, many have been here for long, also then contributing to the economy. And also now we are discussing together with the European Chamber of Commerce and different authorities here how to improve the business climate, as there are still some bottlenecks and there are also from the European business also very constructive and good solutions So this is a dialogue that is ongoing, as we see that there is a huge potential, and we really also want to be then both promote it and then also see that the opportunities for European businesses. Evidently, all this comes then with the infrastructure and also the capacity of the Ethiopian, like the society and the different actors. So that is something where we are also involved in. So I would say, like from our side, both like this kind of harder investments like in infrastructure, and also then like the soft skills, that is the capacity, be it in like the vocational training in order to have like the qualified labor in the digital sector, for example. That is also something that we are supporting, and where member states also then bring like their experiences and are sharing them. Indeed, yes. So definitely, as I mentioned, the fight against terrorism. This is something where Ethiopia has been very strongly engaged, also with sacrifices. So that what is like, and the fact that Ethiopia is now part of the new EU-SOM mission, I think something that we very much welcome. So that work continues. And then, of course, the fact that it's a big country, big population, huge potential natural resources, that to really be this also then for the good for the broader region, and that comes of course by using like focusing on the infrastructure, focusing on regional integration, where I see that Ethiopia has an important role to play, and that is, for example, then the discussions that are ongoing with Somalia on the port. The Ankara Declaration was an important step in order, of course, then to bring back relations Ethiopia-Somalia. We see that this is important both bilaterally but also for the region, because the access to the sea and the port is something that indeed the whole region can profit from. Well, of course, it's part of like a basic principle of international relations that states are then advancing their interest. And I cannot speak on behalf of other states, but I can speak on behalf of the EU, that the interest and that what we see here is that like the peace and stability, and also to promote inclusive development, as said, to promote and support the ambitious economic reforms. So that is like the interest that we have, and to work closely with the government. Yes, I think it is a legitimate request and also fully understandable that to diversify the access, now the cooperation with Djibouti, but to have like something in addition, I think it's a very legitimate request, and also something that we then through different ways, like the Horn of Africa initiative, also could be able to support like the infrastructure that needs to be built, but evidently like access to the sea and port, it's based then on negotiations and discussions. So that is of course the framework to, and that is therefore good that the Ankara Declaration is an important milestone, and then now to move on that. I think from the European perspective, we have good examples of member states who are landlocked, and where also like we are then ready to share our experiences. We have, for example, a small landlocked state, Luxembourg, very well known for it to be the center of banking, and then having with agreements bilaterally, but of course also part of the EU framework with the like free movement of goods, and also like the different infrastructure and different support of the EU. Luxembourg has focused on solid infrastructure, rail, road. They also like inland water access then to, so that this is like the prerequisites then for like or like conditions then to move and have then the cooperation and get the port access from a landlocked state. But also, as said, also here, like the cooperation with the neighboring state and the ones with the ports is then absolutely central. Indeed, and first from my side, a huge appreciation to Ethiopia for hosting big numbers of refugees, and Sudan with its really tragic humanitarian cost that this war has come with has also affected your country in the number of refugees, and but really a big appreciation for your country on this. And in fact, this is something where we have been closely involved. The big figure is 19 million that through different EU channels that we are supporting Sudanese refugees in different parts of Ethiopia. And both like what comes to the immediate response, but also then for more like the integration of like this refugees and the host communities. I was in fact just a month ago visiting so-called Ura integrated settlement in Beni Shangui, where we inaugurated a school and a health center, and with this like the support of us, I mean like implementation partners, UN and Plan International, that this settlement, Ura settlement, had been put in place I think in half a year, and also then where like the cooperation between the settlement, like the refugees and the host community is one of the points, because evidently we should avoid like the tensions coming, and then having that what we are then providing to the refugees, that also something that the host community can profit from, as is in the case with the schools and the health center in the Ura integrated settlement. Well, I think in especially in these days, cooperation, not confrontation, is like the way to go. And this is also how we see the cooperation with BRICS, with the individual BRICS member states. We have excellent collaboration with the political, economic, with BRICS states, except like Russia and Iran that are. But with the others, we have good relations. We are cooperating with them bilaterally in multilateral fora, as like with Ethiopia. So really, we see now, like in these days, the cooperation and to really pull even more together is important. And of course, the core is the UN Charter, that and the multilateral rules-based order. That this is something that has to be upheld. And also with Ethiopia, it would be good to like deepen our dialogue. Like how can we do more in the multilateral framework? Ethiopia also now member of the Human Rights Council. So in this way, I see that this is like dialogue and cooperation is the way to go. Here we are not only planning, but in fact we are already doing. And we have here really many different tracks. One is of course like the multilateral context with the different discussions in the COP framework and different funding mechanisms that have come with it, where we are now, for example, also supporting Ethiopia in like finding those channels, because it like needs a bit of capacity to have the access to those funds. But then also like concretely what we are doing, renewable energy is evidently something, and that is one of like the global gateway projects that we are now like having in the pipeline, that will then focusing on renewable energy. Of course, everything what can be done also in the agriculture field to avoid deforestation, and really to build more like focus on forestry is something. So I would say that there are many different, and of course then the fact that the government has took a very bold decision about electric cars. I think this really set the tone for the continent, that this is like how you see the future to be free from like the fuel and really then focus on be like self-sustainable in this way, also by using electric cars. Evidently this has to have an ecosystem in place. There has to be like the different aspects, regulation, and so this will not come like overnight, but I think as a decision it's a very important and good one, where also then EU member states, where we are like seeing how we can then support and be part of this. Well, I think there is a need for like really come together all, like it's financing, I think more broadly, that like climate change, it concerns all of us. We know that African states are especially hit by the climate change, and therefore also on financing, that this is and must be a joint effort. So like a really broad base of those coming in to support this is important. That is exactly the point that one should make and recall, that legal migration is in fact something like on top, that it's not like illegal, but really the legal migration, where big numbers, I think in 23 it was like 5 million legal migrants that came to Europe. So this is also something where we, through for example the Pact for Migration and Asylum that was adopted last year, where we now like foresee a couple of strands to also make this like more maybe systematic and maybe also controlled in a way that we have like a talent boost plan. There are like different portals then to also inform those who are planning to come. So there are different ways to like build this up and have it in a systematic way. And also here in Ethiopia we are now foreseeing a project that would support the Ethiopian different authorities to also build capacity to prepare like for the legal migration. So this is something that we are concretely in this delegation now planning together with the authorities here. Yes, no, it's now seven months and 4 days. Yeah. So and it's been a good start, and so that's what I would foresee for my term is of course to build the relation with the government and the broader Ethiopian society, with the government built based on trust and an open dialogue. So that is like I think the first priority. Then of course as we discussed, the reforms agenda is something that we want to succeed, and where we then have different ways to engage and support this and share like the experiences that we have in Europe. And there comes in the big EU family here, that we really more also like reflect how can we like even more pull together, and as example then like to share the experiences that we have. So really also reflect together and work together even more strongly as Team Europe. And then of course like the people-to-people contacts, we just concluded the European Film Festival, and it was just so amazing to see like the Ethiopians who came and engaged in the different workshops, in the different discussions. So I think like we could do even more of like the people-to-people culture, because this is really something that connects us and our like Ethiopia and the EU. So this would be, and of course I hope to travel. The security situation currently is limiting it, and so I hope for both, of course, for the sake of Ethiopians, the country, that there would be like also through dialogue, a way out from the different conflict spots that we see. So that is, I think, also at the heart of my work. Yeah, I think, all in all, it has been a very good start here, and really happy. We have an excellent team in the delegation, all working hard to advance our relations. We have excellent colleagues at the EU delegation to the African Union, and also with them there are some files that are connecting. So it's good to be here, and good to also we have had a good start of cooperation with both the Ethiopian government and with the business community. So I look forward to my mandate, the continuation of it.